Morning, Spencer.
Good morning.
Okay, 4 great guests in studio here today as we're talking our traditional port of call segment with the Port of Shelton. Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, as well as Don Entus and Dave Mariano, as we're kind of talking about a bit of a changing of the guard. As I mentioned before the segment started, Port of Shelton traditionally has been for many, many years 3 properties, including Sanderson Field, the Johns Prairie area, and the marina, the Oakland Bay Marina. But recently sold off, and 2 great representatives here to talk about what is up next for the marina. Wendy, let's start with you and kind of go through the background on this one more time.
Sure. We spent a series of community forums last year asking the community their opinion on this changeover. It was just really a question of dollars and cents, and can the port put all the money in the docks and still afford to do this, and with no increase in revenue, and we were approached pretty early on after those meetings from the yacht club with an interest to purchase. So we went along that path, had to do lots of things, including surplusing the property, working with DNR, just many things over and over. But it was a good transaction and a very, very good process, just due to those that were working on it. You know, we all worked together really well, and I think it's a win-win-win. They won, we won, the port, and the community actually ultimately wins.
Yeah, Dick, pull that microphone over to you there. Talk to me a little bit about the commission and their thoughts on this. I mean, it's been a long-held property by the port, so it had to be kind of bittersweet.
You know, when I first came on the commission, 8 years ago, there was some grumbling about we ought to sell the marina with the other commissioners, and I thought at the time, we can't do that. We're a port. We've got to have water.
Sure.
You know, and over the years, I realized that we can, and there are other ports that don't have water or marinas, and we made the decision to talk about it at our retreat of last year, our commission retreat. That's where it all started, was in January of last year, and Wendy came up with a plan and of briefings and so forth, and three alternatives. Do we sell it? Do we keep it, the marina, or do we go in partnership with some other entity
Sure.
to run it? So those are the 3 ideas that were presented at the public forums that we held.
Shelton Yacht Club has been there for many, many years. Don Entus, the chairman of the board. Dave Mariano is a club member and president and CEO of the corporation. Don, let's start with you and talk to me a little bit. I see your new vision statement here. Why don't you can read that to us so we can kind of get a better idea of how that goes. Wendy, you can move that microphone over there, and they can share those too, for sure.
Well, you know, I would really like to pass this on to Dave to read this, because this is his statement, and with that being said, I think it'd be more appropriate if
Sure.
Dave read it.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
Well, just a little background. I mean, the club's been around since, I think, 1950?
50s.
So we've been there for the last almost 70 years now.
Yeah.
Presence on the waterfront, and I think I've been a member about the last 10 years or so. But anyway, I think the club has been active in what's going on down there. They've been interested in the marina for a number of years, and I think, Don, you pointed out earlier that, was it 25 years ago we were talking about this, and really began setting up savings accounts so we could take on such a task. And here we are 25 years later, finally coming to fruition with it.
That's pretty great. So what's the vision for it now?
Can I just interrupt
Please.
that just for a second? Back in 1990, I was the yacht club went from the Commodore control to a board, and I was the very first chairman of the board back then. And what's kind of ironic is that we looked at a piece of property on Harsheen Island back then to move the yacht club to, because we felt that at some point in time we were going to lose the property underneath our yacht club. So it was kind of ironic that long ago we were already talking about, one of these days we're going to get kicked out of here.
Sure.
And then when the port decided to sell it, and we were having a board meeting and we were discussing it, and I suggested, well, why don't we try and buy it? and I picked a board Dave and Mike Burns and Neil Stroberg, and we called Wendy, and the rest is history. It's been over a year, but it's worked out really well, and the port's been really good to work with.
That's nice to be able to keep that building there then.
Yes.
For sure. For sure.
Well, I think the theme, and here, as far as what their vision statement we have for the marina, is we're really part of the community. We've been here for a very long time. And really, the very early on conversations with Wendy is, how do we partner with the port to deliver the mission that the port was trying to deliver? We're just going to deliver it in another form. So we kind of created a quick vision statement, but basically we want to become known throughout the greater Puget Sound boating community as one of the premier marinas, a marina that's known for its uplands and green spaces, facilities on site, venues for people to come visit, hold events at, those kinds of things, and to be recognized for its environmentally sensitive efforts. In other words, we want to be part of an environmentally sensitive operation.
Sure.
There's a lot going on in the bay right now as far as cleanup, and we want to be a part of that and be integral to it. And we've already made some efforts towards that, to become part of that effort. But also, at the same time, we also want to encourage public access to the uplands, public access to the docks, public access to the boat launch, green space that's there, and promoting tourism. It used to be, if I understand it right, back in the day, in the early days, we were a huge draw for boats to come visit us for Forest Festival.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And even right now, today, that's kind of transformed into Oyster Fest. But we probably have, last year, 20, 30 boats that came for. So we're getting visits already, so we want to build upon that.
Sure.
And create tourism, more tourism for Shelton Mason County. And another effort that's there is to also promote jobs within the marina itself. We have, right now, I think 10 slips that are occupied by what we call flupsies or shellfish growers.
Yeah.
Each one of those employ between 3 and 5 people each. So we have between 30 and 50 people employed down there that depend on that for jobs, as well as the boat launch, which is heavily used by Taylor United, CL Shellfish, and a host of other
Tribe.
Yeah, and that's correct, the Squaxin tribe. So really, the community theme, you're going to hear a lot of that as we move it forward. We've been a big part of the community, I think, for a long time, and we just want to build upon that, and we would like the community to look towards this as a great asset to continue for many years in the future.
The yacht club property, the building is very nice, and the views and vistas are wonderful on beautiful sunny days. You can see for miles out there. Those are going to be able to continue be rented by folks for events and things like that?
Yep, we want to continue to make it available for people to make use of, for meetings, rent it out, for events. Hopefully we can create new venue space on the pier. We have a lot of work to do in the uplands, mind you, but eventually weddings and those types of things, receptions. I mean, just making a sought-after public space, not only for meetings, but for our I guess, activities that we all like to do in the community as part of it.
So over the last 25 years, what have you thought that you would like to do, but perhaps have been under different constraints, but now that you guys have it yourselves, what are some of the first changes that the public is likely to see here?
Boy, do you have an hour? Well, our long-range plans, and there again, it's permitting that we are finding out it's extremely time-consuming.
Sure.
As well as expensive. But we want to make the visitors dock probably 3 to 4 times longer. Right now it can handle probably 6 to 8 boats. We would like to get that up to 20.
Wow.
And the south dock, which is the one that's expensive, but the port didn't want to have to redo, and so we're going to move it out, and so we have more room to put in that bigger visitors dock.
Yeah.
And like Dave mentioned, the uplands and the parking areas, and we've got a 20-year long-range plan
Right.
that we really hope to make it work.
Yeah.
So
And Don's right on. I mean, the environmental permitting process is it's necessary. You know, we have to go through it and get all of our permits in place, and we've already started on that. And part of that is the long-range 20-year plan, so we can, you know, take pieces away from that and go build it as time goes on. So yeah, that includes improvements to both the north and the south dock, and removing the creosote retaining wall that's around the site, making it more environmentally sound, upland improvements, as well as hopefully a new boat launch here shortly. Probably one of the first things you're going to see us working on is, of course, some improvements in the uplands, at least appearance-wise. Go after the south dock, and then hopefully after a new boat launch. We already have begun some efforts with the Squaxin Tribe and South Puget Sound Salmon Enhancement Group, who are out in the bay right now doing a project. Probably see a lot of work begin on July 15th. So hopefully we can partner with them. We've already started that process to become part of the effort.
Yeah.
We want to be integral to it, and we want that all to blend in with what we're doing, so that we're complementing what's going on.
Wendy, are you guys going to be available to help navigate some of these more difficult environmental permitting processes that you guys have had to deal with?
Absolutely. And we've shared that over and over with the group. And I think that's, as you can hear, just the collaboration and just cohesive attitude here. And we were so thrilled to be able to sell a piece of property of the port to a group that really is, you know, a steward of the environment and really is going to take good care of it. And really, I think, better care than the port could. We had to be mindful of our taxpayers' money, which isn't all, you know,
Sure.
taxpayers at that, you know, entity. They don't all live there. And so it was just a huge effort. And as you can hear, these are just two representatives. I mean, this was so seamless, and just really, I don't know that a lot of people even know it happened because of the way we've all interacted, and we're, you know, providing those, you know, like
Yeah.
you say, we'll provide any help we can, as well as they've provided us with much help. So I couldn't have asked for a better. I think when we had our first community forum, that was probably the toughest meeting I've ever had to do. I was looking at all these people that I've had as tenants, and they were angry and they were uncertain of their future.
Sure.
And they couldn't believe I even would bring up the sell word or the fact that this could happen. And I just remember thinking, these are friends and people I've known for years. And, you know, it was hard. But where we've come, I mean, you know, we're hugging and having, you know, laughs, and everybody's happy, you know, and the day we signed the documents, I went down and the board was meeting, and, you know, everybody was just sharing stories, and, you know, it's just I couldn't ask for a better outcome.
That's
to be
great.
honest.
I
Looking,
think on the club side, we would like to echo that too. I mean, we couldn't have a better partner. The commissioners, Wendy, and all the staff have been extremely helpful towards us. But not only just the port, but also the city.
Yeah, for sure.
The mayor, the council, and staff have been extremely supportive of the whole way. Without that support, we would not be here.
Sure.
Probably
For
would have
sure.
lost the marina.
well, we're really excited to see how you guys move forward with this over your next 20-year plan. The Oakland Bay Marina. Don Entus, the chairman, Dave Mariano, club member and president CEO of the corporation, as well as Dick and Wendy here for our traditional Port of Call segment. Nice to talk with you guys, and excited to see how this all moves forward here in the future. Very cool.